vibrant communities. I'd now like to do the rest of my talk on an ad for the Mass Arch Society and the Robbins Museum. It's short. Facts. This is the museum's, this is the Society's 80th birthday. Unfortunately, I ate all the cake. I have nothing to give you. We've been around for a while. We excavated landmark sites such as Bull Brook and Wampanoag. This site is the Titicut site in Bridgewater. It is one of the very few early archaic sites ever been found in Mass. It was excavated in the late 40s. We also have an impressive collection of now over 170,000 artifacts. Rather than reading this whole slide, our purpose can be summed up in two words: education and preservation. We want to educate people about the past of our state, and we want to preserve that past for the future and for the present. We have a number of educational programs for different groups. In this one, a school class is learning how to grind corn. They have a mano and metate and dried corn kernels, and they're milling it into flour. This is a talk on the native foodways of the people in the past. We have a number of speaking programs. We have a speakers program about our annual and our semi-annual meeting. And by the way, our annual meeting is next month on the 16th. Our website has all of the details, including who will be speaking and what their topics will be. And I'll give you directions on the website before I go. We also have 4 chapters in this state. And as part of each chapter's meeting, there's an hour to an hour and a half talk on subjects that I'm sure all of you would enjoy. We have a number of spectacular publications. The New England Typology is the Bible for projectile points that you find in New England. It's a spectacular book. It's our bestseller by far. Next to it is a handbook of Native American artifacts using line drawings, spectacular line drawings by William Fowler. They've done typologies of every single tool you might find in New England of native origin. Everything from scrapers to projectile points, from ceramics to axes. Wampanoag is the site report for that spectacular site, and although we don't publish the first person's book, we do offer it on our website and store. As I said, we have 4 chapters. The Northeast chapter meets in Andover, Central and Worcester. We have a chapter that meets at the Robbins Museum in Middleborough. And our newest chapter meets at the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History in Brewster. The Robbins Museum. We've been in Middleborough since 1992. When the Society was founded, we created the Bronson Museum in Attleboro. That opened in '42 and closed in the late '80s. It's a good-sized museum, and it's got a lot of artifacts on display. Every artifact you've seen in my presentation is on display at the museum. We have a Native American portrait gallery where we have pictures of all the Native people who don't exist in our state. We have a research library and a gift shop. Some of our more spectacular displays, the Doyle doll collection. This is 190 dolls with some ceramics and baskets, all made by Native people from all over North America, and most importantly, they were all made in the 1950s. This is a snapshot of where the Native mindset was at throughout the entire continent during one period of time. We understand that the Smithsonian wanted this collection, but because we knew the Doyles, they gave it to us. This is the diorama I spoke of you before. This is a reproduction dugout canoe. The Wampanoag name for dugouts is Mishoon. This was made for us by the people at Plymouth Plantation, and on the wall next to it we have photos of them making it using the old style and the old tools and sailing it in one of the local rivers. This is the walk through time. The walk through time is pretty much the presentation I've just given you. In fact, many of the pictures that you've seen showing tools from different periods were photographed in this display. This is our contact information. In the back room, I have a bunch of these handed out. These are membership brochures. We would dearly love to have all of you become members of the Society, but even if you don't, the back page has all of this contact information on it. That pretty much sums up my talk. Do you have any questions? That's just done by
You mentioned an object made of stone that you
Yes.
said came from Wyoming.
Yes.
Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Is
Stones-
there any theory in how it got here? Is there a theory in how it got here from Wyoming?
Either through trade. One of the things, the native people cherished different things. That's really cool stone. I've never seen anything like it before. And it could have generationally be passed down. But it's also a trade. We have obsidian artifacts here. Wyoming is also the nearest source of obsidian. We have a lot of Pennsylvania flint. There's a Pennsylvania jasper, a red stone. It's very common. I've even found things in Massachusetts from Pennsylvania jasper. So they had impressive trade networks. But one of the things is stone can be identified not only to where it's from, but what part of the mountain it came from. There's always slight differences in the chemical balance on it. So you can really pinpoint exactly where it's from.
If you went to the Bullbrook site
Yep.
and the Concord clamshell bluff site today,
Yes.
what would you see?
Nothing. Concord is a parking lot. Do you know which hospital it is? Okay, yeah, so it's completely caved over, completely gone. Bullbrook is now, I was told, condominiums and a rock quarry. But I also read a short article that said that the actual site is still there. The place where they found the 42 and the 43 is still undeveloped land in that area. But archaeological sites, except in very extraordinary locations, just become places. Wampanoag is a wonderful site. People were in Wampanoag. In fact, I think the same people that were in Bullbrook were in Wampanoag. And there were people there all the way in the historic period. You could walk through there. The Mass Arch Society excavated it from 1950 to 1985. You wouldn't have a clue that there was ever a site in that area. Archaeological sites aren't saved unless a conservatory or something puts it aside and takes care of it. There's millions of them. But you
Same is
wouldn't
true
see
for the
them.
Pine Hawk site. The Pine Hawk site is
Yeah.
not safe.
Anything else?
John, were you asking? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I have a small, I believe, obsidian piece I found someplace around Massachusetts. He said
That's
there's no,
extraordinarily rare.
so it's probably, it's shaped sort of like an arrowhead, so it probably is an arrowhead. Okay, interesting. I didn't even know that. I thought it
It's-
was a clever little piece of stone.
Obsidian is the finest stone you can use to make things. The edge on an obsidian blade is 1 molecule wide. They used it for surgery up until about a decade ago because they couldn't make surgical steel as sharp as they could make obsidian blades. It's got so many neat aspects. If you go out west where there is obsidian, that is the dominant stone type because it is just so wonderful to work. And it has one of the coolest artifacts of any stone. When all rocks have water in them, and when you flake obsidian, you expose a fresh surface and it starts to absorb water. You can measure the water absorbed and tell when that tool was made. You can't tell that from any other stone. You can find out the stone's 280 billion years old, and you can find out that obsidian is made 7,000 years ago. Now, one of the problems is, unless you know the provenance of your stone, we have 2 pieces, Tanya Lardy was the president for the society. We have 2 pieces of obsidian on display too, but it has no provenance. They could have been driven up by a car in the 20s and dropped somewhere.
Right.
But it is the best tool stone you can find. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's neat.
Make sure I'll keep my hands on it.
Yes.
Don't throw it in
Make
the
sure you
trash.
stay away from the edges.
No, it's sharp.
David, I have a related question on the copper.
Yes.
Both the copper and the Wyoming stone.
Yeah.
I mean, this implies trade networks that
Huge ones.
span.
Huge ones.
Yeah, could you talk about how that might have worked, or?
I've never read anything about it, but that knife is in the paleo component. And for Wampanoag, that's at least 9,000 years ago, could have been 12,000 years ago. I mean, I can understand over thousands of years thinking making it down there. But I mean, people were only supposed to have been here 15,000 years ago. And yet there were people in Wyoming who brought something to Middleborough or traded. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't expand on it, but it's definitely an interesting aspect. Yes?
I don't want to hog you, okay? You mentioned that, between different periods, the arrowheads change, the steel.
All tools changed.
Now, was this gradual, or did it look like one group of people displaced another and came in with a different set of?
More than that, if you do something different, like let's say you're using a spear versus an arrowhead, you couldn't haft a spear on an arrow shaft the same way you would have it on a spear shaft. So when they changed how they hunted, what they were hunting with, they designed something to meet their needs more appropriately. There is indeed. One of the more stunning people in the East were the Adena and the mound builders in Ohio. And the Adena had very distinctive tools. And those come all over the place. There are even Adena influence in Massachusetts. So there is a certain adaptation, but more, even in an individual place that's completely alone, they're gonna change every time they change what they're hunting and how they hunt it. I don't want to answer the question.
No, I was just going to give you a point of information. I was just going to tell you a point of information.
Yes.
In Wayland, in our cremation burial site, Mansion Inn, which I think I mentioned last week, we had a stone bowl was found there. And an amateur had it, one of the neighbors dug it up. And it ended up in the Historical Society. So we did have one, and that's definitely a transitional archaic context.
Yeah, it weighs a ton, but it was used before ceramics came in, and it came from somewhere else. So when it showed up, when ceramics started, steatite got phased out quickly. Because now you've got a lighter, more functional tool. Why would you waste your time with this 800-pound piece? We have a steatite mortar at the museum. I am lucky to speak to you, even though I moved it at one time. I think the dugout is lighter than the steatite ball.